Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. Today I'm going to be sharing with you something a little bit different. What I do like to do is share with you the good and perhaps not so good within the products that I share with you. Now this, like I say, is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about products that I really loved the look of, and most of these products I've had to purchase from the Revolution website, so you don't really get a chance to, look at them perhaps as you would if you were shopping in a store and really make your mind up. So you're shopping, I suppose, just by looking at a picture. So I've loved the look of these products. I've tested them for you, but they're not products that I'm really revisiting and thinking, wow, I've got to use those again. I'm going to try and give you a reason why I'm not using them. It's going to be difficult because sometimes you just, don't go back to a product, but I will do my best to give you a good reason why. So the first product that I want to share with you, and also these products are under the Revolution umbrella, so they could be Obsession, they could be I Heart Revolution, they could be, any of them. So the first one is the Revolution Flawless Foils, and they look like this. Now I believe these were £5 or £6 each. I've got 3 of my favourite shades that I want to just share with you. I'm not going to get them out of the box, but I am just going to, I'll probably focus just on one. So the favourite shades that I've got here are Rose Gold. I have got Rival, and I have got then Rebound. Now these look beautiful, and from the website I thought, yeah, I'm really going to love these. There is a champagne shade that I always wear at Christmas time on my lid. I really love that. I don't use any of the primer in there with it. It stays on all day and it just works for me. Now with these ones, again, you get the primer. So in here you can see you get your little tube of primer and your product. I'm going to actually focus on this one, the Rose Gold, because I know it's a lot of people's favourite. You can just tip a little bit of, a drop of this into the container, because you don't get the tray any longer with these. They've changed that, so you can just pop a drop in there, or perhaps mix it on the back of your hand perhaps, and do it that way, which is what I do, because I tend to find if you put the primer in there, it's just going to make all of that, you may want to one day just use the product rather than the primer as well. I have tried it both ways, with and without the primer, and bearing in mind that I really do like that champagne shimmery shade from the original collection. These seem to be different. They seem to be not quite so firm. They seem to be a little bit more slippery. That's all I can really say. I don't know, they just don't seem the same formula as the original. When I put that, it just slid literally. There was no, I don't know. I'm just going to get a wipe. They just seem a different formulation, and the reason why I don't gravitate to this product anymore is because, I don't gravitate to it at all, is because it just will not stay on my lid. Whether I use the primer, mix that in, or pop it on the lid on its own. Obviously I use an eye base. It just doesn't stay on my lid. So whatever they've done to this formulation, it is different. It just won't stay. And obviously I've got a little bit of hooded lids, so I need to, I need a product to actually stay, because when you've got hooded lids, eyeshadow rubs off a little bit more easily. But these just didn't work for me at all, and it's such a shame, because I really loved the look of them. I loved the shades that they came out with, and I was so excited that when I saw that they had actually sent them out in PR, I then wanted to know what that date was, that they were coming out. So yeah, really excited by those, just not excited by the actual product. And although I love it, it just, for whatever reason, doesn't work for me, and I think I'm going to have to try them out again and see if I can somehow make them work for me. Now the next product is this, and it is the Magnetized eyeshadows. The one that I really love is gold, and it looks like this. Absolutely beautiful. And again, I think these are £5. I really like the idea that you can put your finger in there or brush, and then you can tap it as I demonstrated in my original video, and it then looks absolutely beautiful again. The shade itself is stunning. Just love it. It is just such a stunning, you know, that shade that I'm really, really enjoying at the moment. It is beautiful, works so well. Not quite sure why with this I'm not grabbing for it. I think it could be because when I think of a look up, so obviously today I've created a very minimal eye look. But usually I have a look in my mind of what I want to create, and I go for a palette usually that has all of those eyeshadows that I know will create that look. And this is a singular shadow, obviously, but I have to think of the look around this shadow, and it is very difficult. I then have to, it's not very difficult, but it's just time consuming. I've got to think of the mattes that I want to go with it, and all of that. So I suppose that is why I'm not gravitating to this, even though it's beautiful. I love the shade. There's nothing wrong with this product at all. It works very well for me, but I find this not just with Revolution eyeshadows, it's across the board. If I buy a single eyeshadow, it just goes in the drawer and gets lost. It doesn't really, it's difficult, isn't it, to then think, oh yeah, I've got that loose eyeshadow, that single eyeshadow, I'm going to create a look around it. For me, a palette with all of the, that's cohesive and got all of the eyeshadows that I need in it to create that one look is a lot more, a lot easier to work with, I suppose. Okay, so that's that one. The next one is from Obsession, and this is a lip product. This is the second time that I've purchased it. Now, I initially purchased it when it became available, when it was released actually, and it's the Obsession Lip Effects, and I picked up Daydreamer. Now, I really love this, and I forgot why I didn't have it anymore, so I repurchased it from Boots. These swatch absolutely beautifully. So it comes in that packaging. I think these are £4, and that's another reason why I thought, yeah, I'll get it again and test it. And I've worn it in a video, and it does look great, but with this it looks great. So I'm going to just swatch it. I've gone a little bit crazy with the gold. Let me just wipe that, clean that up. Okay, so when you swatch it, it looks beautiful. So it looks very, very light in the tube, but it's got a duochrome effect to it, and it comes off very pink. Now, I've already applied it to a very, neutral lip, and I've tapped it out because this is quite thick. So for me, I like to put these kind of duochromatic lip products on and then tap it out. So I've got a little bit of a gloss effect, but not too much. You can't see it. So to actually make it work, you have to put it on quite thickly. Now, for me, I personally do not like wearing a thick product. I like to tap it out. And even though it's beautiful, I don't know, it just to me seems to lose a little bit of something when you tap it out. It's just not as fantastic as when I swatched it in Boots under those lights. I don't know, it's just disappointed me a little bit, and it's not something that, and I thought in the summer it would look beautiful. I repurchased it actually not long ago. It was in the last 6 weeks, because I wanted for the sun to actually hit it. I went through a phase in the summer where I wanted so much shine and shimmer and glitter and everything to reflect when the sun hits it. Unfortunately, this just falls a little bit off the mark, and although it's £4 and it's very affordable, I just don't like that really thick, gloopy feel on the lip. I do like gloss. I'm getting back into gloss, but I like that, like this, you've got a little bit of a sheen. I don't like that where your lip looks like it's dripping, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, this is how you have to have it to get that duo chromatic look. So although I love the look of it again, it just doesn't work for me. So next was these. Now, people are going to say why, because they are so fantastic, and these are from the Reloaded collection, their newest collection. Now, if you watch my channel regularly, you will know that the Basic Mattes palette within that collection has just blown me away. That is my favourite palette from, well, across the board within that Reloaded collection, because it works for me. In fact, I'm wearing it today. I've just got one shade on, that's all I've got, and then I've got a cat eye, and that is it. I really wanted a very basic, no makeup look, and you know, that palette has given that to me. These two, and I've got two, just, I don't know what it is about them. I'm just not grabbing them, and I thought I was going to absolutely love them. Now, I really love the, is it called Velvet Rose palette? That one, a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I have done on my channel. I loved it. These palettes, I don't know, I'm not grabbing them, and I think again I know why. So the first one is the Newtrals 3, and in this one you've got some beautiful shades in here, but when I look at it, all I can see are the really deep dark shades, and it just puts me off from using this palette. I could have done with a few more lighter tones in here. You know, I think it's going to work very well for autumn, but I think through summer, it was released in summer, it's not a summer palette. I mean, it's got some beautiful, beautiful shades in here, and I don't, all of the makeup, I don't, you know, really dislike it. What I'm saying is these are not products that I am grabbing for. I'm grabbing other products over them. So this one, I don't like the deepness of the shades. Like I said, when we go into autumn and winter, I may then start gravitating to it, but it's only got this one, or this one is light enough for a very light, you know, a mid-tone, I suppose, or light transitional shade. So if you've got skin of my tone or lighter, you can use that one. For my tone and medium, you can go for that. So there's not really that, you know, light starting point with a transitional shade to choose from, and you know, I need a few more choices in here. And there's also a lot of these red shades, and although I really like them, I need that light base. I need something a little bit more within this palette. Perhaps one or two of these could have been changed up for, I don't know, a neutral light tone, perhaps, even though, you know, I do like, I mean, when I look at it, I'm pointing to it, but that one actually is quite deep. I think the light actually is shining on it and making it look lighter in the camera, but it's actually quite a deep transitional shade. This is probably the only transitional shade in here for me, that one there. I'm just checking that it is actually matte. Yeah, it is. That's the only light one. It looks lighter because the light's hitting it, but you can actually see how deep that one is now. So this will probably be the only one that I could use. So it's just not a cohesive palette for me, and for that reason I'm not grabbing it. Again, I don't know why I'm not grabbing this one, and this is also from the Reloaded collection, and it's Visionary. Yeah, there we go. And it's this one. I don't know what it is. I'm just not grabbing it. I can put my finger on the Newtrals 3. I'm not so much with this one because there are some beautiful shades that I can start off with, but it's just one of the palettes that I'm not grabbing for. I think I've only used it once or twice, and it's, you know, when I look at it I think no, not today. And again, could it be the shades in here? Could it be that they're a little bit more autumnal? I'm not sure. Not quite sure about this one. I'd love to hear your thoughts about all of these items that I'm sharing with you. Do you use them on a daily basis? What inspires you to use them? Okay, the next one is, and I have talked about this one before, and it is the Soph Revolution in Soph, the Extra Spice palette. Now initially, because I mean I've talked about it quite a number of times on my channel, I love the original Soph collaboration. I absolutely love it. People have asked me endlessly, what palette are you wearing? What is on your eyes? And you know, I've just been asked so many times, and I thought I would love this one and have the same reaction to it, but it's not something that I've grabbed for. In fact, I think I've only worn it for the video. I don't know what it is, why I'm not, because you know it's got those again beautiful shades in here that I love, those golds. I'm put off by this colour. I don't feel that this is a cohesive, you know, I need something warmer. I think I spoke about that in yesterday's video, but you have got this one here, so you've got a warmer tone there. So I suppose, you know, although that one does put me off, I'm not a big fan of those really icy shades, only because, you know, with my colouring I prefer, you know, warmer, lighter tones. That's all it is. But I thought I would really love this, and I just haven't gravitated towards it at all. If I had to use one of the Soph palettes, I would use the original, because I know that I can get a fantastic look from it. And I know why Soph went for these shades, because obviously, you know, they are very similar to her first palette, but they are a little bit more. So you've got this red tone, but it is very red. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why I'm not going for this. Well, I suppose I am. It's because she's brought out two palettes, and the first one works for me a little bit better than this one. So that's the reason behind it. Even though I really like some of the shades, you know, you've got the cohesiveness with it, with the light, medium, and, you know, deep shades to make that grey eye look. But it's just, you know, something that I'm not gravitating towards that at all. I think with the Soph collection we could probably have just stuck with the first one and you know, stayed with that, because it's such a good palette and it works for so many people. Okay, the next one again is something that I'm really you know, struggling to, well, I know why, but you know, I thought I was going to love this, and it is the I Heart Revolution Cotton Candy palette, and it looks like this. Now, I shared this with you. I mean, it is fairly new, I know that, but it's not something that I gravitate to. It's not something, I keep overlooking it, and I suppose when I look at it, I don't particularly like the pastel shades. I mean, in theory I should, you know, because I love pinks and things like, and shades like that. I love all of that. It's got the transitional shades, the deeper shades, those beautiful tones that I love, but I'm just not a big fan of pink shimmer on the lid, even though I'm sure that I made it a very nice eye look. And I think that's probably what puts me off about this one. It's that pink there. I'm not that keen, although with this one, you know, as with the one I'm looking at now, you have got alternatives with the purple. But yeah, I'm just not drawn to this, and I think because they brought out the Lemon Drizzle, they brought out the Macaroons palette. Those two, I don't know what it, well, I do know what it is, but you know, I look at them and I think, wow. You know, with the Lemon Drizzle, and I know that one is a lot of people's favourite, is you know, it's just so beautiful, and the macaroons is so different that when this, you know, when I look at this one, I'm just not blown away by it as much as the other two. It's a little bit, I don't know, pastel for me, and I'm not that keen. You know, I love it in theory, but again, I'm not gravitating towards it. Now, the last products, there's 3 of them that I want to talk about, and these again are new releases, and I'm just going to wipe off the swatches that I've just done so that I've got a clean arm. Now, when these became available and when they shared the packaging of these, I thought, wow, I've got to have them. They are beautiful. I just love the packaging, and the, you know, I wasn't really thinking about the product inside, and perhaps that's where I'm going wrong. I'm thinking about the palette, how it looks, or the packaging, and I'm not really thinking about what's inside and how that product is going to work for me. So when I saw these, and I'm going to start off with this one, so it is the Opulence, the Revolution Opulence collection. This is the highlight compact. Now, in my video, I said, you know, these are beautiful products, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely beautiful. Everything that I'm sharing with you is stunning. It's just, you know, they've changed formulations with some things, and it's just not working for me. When I saw these, when I shared them with you, I thought, wow, but I've got other products that I am using. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not gravitating towards these, and I thought I would. So like I said, the first one is the highlight compact, and it looks like this. Now, I wish that they had done the same effect with this one. Is a highlight compact, so I would have thought that they would have gone all out with the packaging on this. So I wish it was the same, but it's not glittery, it just reflects gold, like a yellow gold. I hope you're seeing that. And then when you open it up, it's mixed. Now, I do like it, but it is quite deep for someone with light skin tone, sorry. I mean, with the highlight brushes, they are a little bit thinner, and I use the flex brush, which is a little bit bigger than perhaps a regular highlight brush looks like, and I did find that it worked. But if you have got a light skin tone, this is probably, you know, the only one. And even with that one, you know, it's not icy like a lot of people like to wear. I wore this shade, which is the same, that one either side, and it is the shade that I like to wear. You know, it's peachy or pinky peach, and it's warm, and that's what I like, and it worked beautifully. But it's difficult to get your brush into there. It did work, but you do get other of the other shades, you know, added to that brush as well. I just wish they'd split it into 4, and then you had, you know, 4 little squares of product. That would work better for me. It looks beautiful, but with this one, I'm afraid to say I think it's a little bit of style over substance. They look stunning, but the product inside doesn't work for a lot of people's skin tone, and you know, if that is my feeling about it. It looks beautiful, but it's just very limiting. Now, the next one is the blush compact, and I think this was a lot of people's favourite, the pink. It just looks stunning. The effect on the lid is amazing. I mean, you do get a mirror as well. I forgot to share with you the mirror on the highlight. This, I love the lid, and I know why they've gone for pink, but again, it's just too much pink. I did wear, which one? I think it was this one here. And again, I can get my brush into there, but I wish they had, again, split it into, well, they have split it very well this time, but I wish they'd put more colours in there, you know, and given me a little bit more choice. It just seems a little bit limiting. If you don't like pink, you know, you're not going to like this basically. And I do like pink, but I like more of a dusty pink, and that is why I used that one. And it did go on very well. The highlight is way too icy for me. I don't like that at all. And it's very intense. It's one of those, so if you really like those intense highlights, you will love that. If you like pink, you will love this. Like I said, this one is more dusty, and that works for me, but I'm just not going to use these other 3 shades. So I suppose that's the reason why I'm not gravitating towards this. So it seems £8. So £8 is a lot of money for a compact that I'm not gonna use. The next one is the eyeshadow compact, and again, I absolutely love the packaging. It is so beautiful. But this, again, with other palettes that I've talked about recently, this is not cohesive to me at all. First of all, you get way too much of this really light shade, and again it's very much like the highlighter from that blush palette. It's very intense, so you don't need a lot of it. So I could have done without all of that there, and perhaps a little bit more from the other shades, but get rid of that completely and put a matte in there for me, so that I have a starting a transitional shade, but it's all shimmers. The burgundy one there is perhaps not as intense as the others, so you can get away with wearing that in the transitional area. If that was matte, that would be perfect, because it is a beautiful shade, but also I found it very difficult to actually get hold of that colour without getting this. And this is one of those shimmer shades that is very I don't know, it's very thick and crumbly, that kind of, there's nothing wrong with that formula, it's very intense, but when you've got nothing in between, it's just very difficult to get hold of without getting that as well. Not so much with these, because they're eyeshadows and they'll work very nice on the eye, but again, they all tend to melt into one another. And I knew that was going to be perhaps an issue, but I thought, no, it's going to be fine. But it's just not something that I am grabbing for, and I've not grabbed for this since the video that I shared with you. And initially I thought, wow, this is amazing, that gold, or no, I think I went in with that orangey shade, beautiful. But again, there's no mattes in here, which will give me that beautiful full eye look. And this to me is a palette that you then have to get another palette out, you have to work out what's going to work for this, what shade you want to go with this, or shades. And I just really don't like that icy shade. You could have done with at least a quarter of that and it would still work, because it's such an intense shade. So I wish that they had perhaps even swapped that around so that you've got more, or like I say, get rid of that completely and give me a matte shade, which will work. All in all, I really like the concept of the Opulence collection, but I think it's just too much style over the substance that went in with the actual palettes. And for me, I just feel that they're £8 each, and I've bought, all 3 of them, and they just aren't going to work for me. None of them are going to work on a day-to-day basis. And if I'm spending £24 on 3 little palettes, I want at least one of them to work. So I suppose that's my biggest disappointment, because I just love the packaging. I love that, but it does look good on my tabletop. It just doesn't work for me. Now that is all of the products that I wanted to share with you today. I would love to hear your thoughts on the products that I've shared with you. Perhaps you've got some other products that you are thinking, I'm not gravitating towards these, and these products are inexpensive, and a lot of them are they are really good products. They're all very good products and they work very well. It's just, I wanted to share with you a little collection of products, and my reasoning why I'm not grabbing them on a day-to-day basis. So if you're thinking, should I or shouldn't I pick these up, you know, perhaps that will help you a little bit. Not only that, I thought it would be very, very interesting for you. So, and something a little bit different. Because I talk a lot about products that I love, and products that, you know, work for me. But I thought, you know, after having these now a little while, I thought I would share with you the fact that actually I'm not using these as much as what I thought. Obviously, like I said, I would love your feedback on that. Of course, if you are brand new to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. But as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.